pay me back. Amora, nothing good can come out of you. You and that useless husband of yours are hopeless cases. Don't waste my time. Humiliated and in tears, Amora walked away. That night, she knelt beside her bed and prayed with all her heart. God, please change my story. Show those who mock us that you have not forsaken us. Her faith remained unshaken, even in the face of such harsh ridicule. Once upon a time, in a local town, there lived a struggling but kind and prayerful couple named Chidi and Amora. Despite their hardships, they were known for their kindness and faith in God. Chidi, a university graduate, had dreams as big as the sky but was constantly battered by the harsh realities of life. Job rejections followed him like a shadow, and every opportunity he pursued slipped through his fingers like sand. Amora, on the other hand, was a resilient woman with an unmatched work ethic. She ran a small roadside canteen, waking up before dawn to prepare steaming pots of jollof rice, fried plantains, spaghetti, beans, egusi soup and yam. Despite her efforts, customers were scarce. The villagers whispered behind their backs, mocking their poverty and calling them cursed. Yet, Chidi and Amora never stopped praying together every night, asking God for a breakthrough and believing in His mercy. Despite their struggles, they always extended kindness to others. If a passerby came to their canteen was unable to pay, Amora would offer them a plate of food and whisper a prayer for them. Chidi, who did small carpentry jobs, would also help neighbors with errands or lend a listening ear. One day, Amora's closest friend, Chika, visited her at the canteen. She watched Amora tirelessly serve the few customers who came by and noticed the faint lines of worry etched on her friend's face. Chika decided it was time to share what she considered a solution to Amora's problems. Amora, Chika began, leaning closer. You're wasting your youth and beauty on a man who can barely provide. There's an Alhaji I know who's ready to give you a life of luxury. He could set you up in a beautiful house in the city, with more money than you'd ever dream of. Amora was taken aback, her spoon pausing mid-stir in a pot of soup. Chika, how can you say such a thing? Chidi is my husband. We took vows before God, and I believe in him. Chika sighed dramatically. Love doesn't put food on the table. Think about it, Amora. You deserve better than this life of struggle. Amora wiped her hands on her apron and turned to Chika with determination. Chika, I appreciate your concern, but I will never leave my husband. We may not have much, but we have faith and love. I trust that God will provide for us in His time. Chika shrugged, clearly unconvinced, but Amora's resolve remained firm. She walked her friend out and returned to her cooking, whispering a prayer under her breath, God, give me the strength to stand by my husband and guide us to better days. Chidi sat on the edge of the wooden stool in their small, dimly lit room, surrounded by a pile of rejection letters. His hands trembled as he held the latest one, the words, "We regret to inform you," seared into his mind. He sighed deeply, running his fingers through his hair. Despite his university degree and countless applications, no job seemed to materialize. Amora entered the room, her eyes full of concern, and placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. It will be okay, dear, she said softly. God has a plan for us. Chidi nodded weakly, but the weight of disappointment bore heavily on his heart. The village whispered about him, calling him lazy and unambitious. Their ridicule stung, but his love for Amora and his resolve to provide for her kept him going. Desperate to make ends meet, Chidi decided to approach a local carpenter, Master Is, who had once offered him an apprenticeship. Though it was far from his dream career, Chidi swallowed his pride and began learning the trade. He spent long days in the workshop, sanding wood, hammering nails, and building simple furniture. His hands, once soft and unblemished, grew calloused and rough from the labor. Yet, Chidi took pride in his work, determined to earn an honest living. Amora admired his perseverance, and each evening, she prepared his favorite meals to cheer him up after a hard day. One afternoon, while delivering a handcrafted stool to a customer, Chidi overheard two women gossiping. Can you imagine? A university graduate doing carpentry. What a waste, one said with a sneer. Chidi's chest tightened, but he squared his shoulders and continued on his way. He refused to let their words break his spirit. Amora was his rock, always reminding him of their shared fate and the promise of brighter days. Chidi, every piece you build with love and dedication is a step toward our breakthrough, Amora said one evening as she admired a table he had crafted. God sees your efforts, and He will reward you. Chidi smiled, her words rekindling the flicker of hope within him. Though his journey was fraught with setbacks and scorn, he pressed on, trusting that his hard work and unwavering faith would someday bear fruit. One fateful night, Amora had a vivid dream. In it, an old woman with a radiant glow appeared, handing her a golden feather and whispering, "Your joy will come with the morning." Amora awoke with a strange sense of peace, but Chidi dismissed it as just a dream. Little did they know, it was a harbinger of change. One afternoon, as Amora was about to close her canteen, an elderly widow approached, her face lined with hunger and despair. "Please, my daughter," she pleaded. "I haven't eaten in 2 days." Though Amora had barely made any sales that day, her generous heart couldn't turn the woman away. She served her a generous plate of food and watched as the widow ate with tears of gratitude. The old woman blessed Amora, saying, "May your kindness return to you 100-fold. You will soon carry a blessing that will bring you untold joy." Amora smiled, though she thought little of the words. Not paying attention to it as she had heard such countless times due to her kind gestures. Times grew harder, and one day, Amora found herself with no money to buy foodstuffs for her canteen. Desperate, she swallowed her pride and went to Madame Too Much, a loud and proud neighbor who was known for her wealth but also for her sharp tongue. "Please, Madame Too Much," Amora begged. "Could you lend me some money? I promise to pay you back after I've sold my food." Madame Too Much laughed scornfully. "You pay me back? Amora, nothing good can come out of you. You and that useless husband of yours are hopeless cases. Don't waste my time." Humiliated and in tears, Amora walked away. That night, she knelt beside her bed and prayed with all her heart. "God, please change my story. Show those who mock us that you have not forsaken us." Her faith remained unshaken, even in the face of such harsh ridicule. Hey friends, so if you have watched up till this moment, it means this has been entertaining. Please like, subscribe and turn on your post notification, so you get notified when we drop different thrilling stories within the week. Let's get right back into the story. And so, a month later, Amora began feeling unwell. Suspecting something unusual, she visited the local clinic. The doctor confirmed her suspicion, she was pregnant. "You are 2 months pregnant, madam, congratulations." Overjoyed, Amora couldn't wait to share the good news with Chidi. That evening, after wrapping up at the canteen, she rushed home and prepared Chidi's favorite meal of fufu and bitter leaf soup. As they sat down to eat, she revealed the news. "We are having a baby." Chidi's eyes filled with tears of joy with bit of worry on how they would cater for the child, but dismissed it as he believed that God would make a way, and he embraced her tightly. "This is the sign we've been praying for," he said, his voice thick with emotion. Their small home was filled with laughter and hope for the first time in years. Amora's pregnancy was a journey filled with wonder. From the early weeks, she felt an unusual connection to the baby growing within her. Whenever she was overwhelmed by the weight of their struggles, she would feel a gentle reassurance, as if the baby in her womb was comforting her. On nights when she was tempted to despair, she would hear a soft, soothing voice in her mind, saying, "Do not worry, Mama. Joy is coming." The experience brought her an unshakable peace and strengthened her resolve to keep pushing forward. Chidi noticed the change in Amora. Her smiles were brighter, her steps more determined. "You seem different," he said one day, watching her knit dough with a serene expression. Amora only laughed, patting her growing belly. "Our baby is special, Chidi. I can feel it." One rainy evening, Amora, after returning from sales for the day, started feeling lower back pains and contractions. Within a short while she noticed water flowing down, and it was then she realized their baby was coming. She screamed Chidi's name. Chidi, our baby is coming. Chidi, confused, ran to the midwife in the community, and under the glow of a single oil lamp, Amora gave birth to a beautiful and radiant baby girl. The child's skin seemed to shimmer under the light, and her cries carried a melody that filled the room with an unexplainable warmth. They named her Adiz, meaning princess, a name that seemed to hold a prophecy of its own. From the moment Adiz entered the world, everything began to change. Just a week after, Chidi received an unexpected call from a prestigious company. They offered him a position he had applied for years ago but had forgotten about. Overjoyed, he started work immediately, and his salary was beyond anything he had ever imagined, in multiple zeros. The job not only came with a good salary but also came with a car, a luxurious and beautifully furnished apartment, and 2 domestic servants. Amora and Chidi's joy knew no bounds as God had finally answered their prayers. Meanwhile, Amora's canteen transformed overnight. Customers began flocking to her little eatery, drawn not just by the aroma of her dishes but by a newfound vibrancy that seemed to envelop her space. People traveled from neighboring villages just to taste her food, and soon, she was catering for large events and festivals. At just 6 months old, a wealthy businessman passing through the village stopped to rest at Amora's canteen. Upon seeing Adiz, he was captivated by her radiant aura. He gifted the family a large sum of money, insisting that the child had brought him an inexplicable sense of peace and inspiration. This marked the beginning of an era of unprecedented wealth for the family. One evening, news spread through the village that Madame Too Much's store had burned down in a mysterious fire. She had lost everything and was now destitute. When Amora heard, she felt no joy in her neighbor's misfortune. Instead, she turned to Chidi. "We must help her," she said. Chidi was hesitant, reminding her of the woman's harsh words and actions. But Amora insisted, "God has blessed us to be a blessing to others, even those who hurt us." The next day, Amora and Chidi visited Madame Too Much with bags of food and supplies. The once proud woman broke down in tears. "I am ashamed of how I treated you," she said. "You've shown me more kindness than I deserve." From that day, Madame Too Much became a changed person, humbled by the couple's generosity. Word of Adiz spread like wildfire. People began visiting their home, bringing gifts and seeking blessings from the golden child. Some claimed their barren lands began to yield crops after seeing her, while others swore their ailments vanished after holding her tiny hand. Chidi and Amora, once the village's laughingstock, became its pride and envy. One day during Amora's routine hospital visit, she saw an unrecognizable and emaciated Chika. Shocked, Amora approached her. The moment Chika saw Amora, she broke down in tears. Between sobs, she confessed, "I didn't listen to you, Amora. I decided to go out with Alhaji Tanko, and now I'm paying the price. He gave me luxury, but he also gave me HIV." Amora's heart ached for her friend. "Chika, it's not the end of the world. You can turn a new leaf. Take your medications and rebuild your life. God's grace is sufficient for you." Before leaving, Amora gave her some money and told her she could always reach out when she needed support. Chika left encouraged, determined to find redemption. With their newfound wealth, the couple built a thriving business empire. They renovated their home, turning it into a haven of beauty and comfort. They also gave back to the community, sponsoring children's education and improving village infrastructure. Despite the riches and recognition, they remained humble, always crediting their blessings to God and the miracle that was Adiz. As Adiz grew older, her wisdom and kindness became apparent. She had a way of speaking that soothed even the most troubled hearts, and her laughter was like music that could light up the darkest days. The villagers believed she was a gift from the gods, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, light could emerge and transform lives. Chidi and Amora's story became a legend, a tale of faith, resilience, and the miraculous power of love. And at the heart of it all was the golden child, a beacon of hope who turned their poverty into prosperity and their ridicule into reverence. Chidi and Amora's journey is a testament to the virtues of kindness, faith, perseverance, and forgiveness. Through their struggles, they showed that unwavering trust in God and each other can overcome any obstacle. Despite their poverty, They shared what little they had with others in need, and this kindness came back to them in unimaginable ways. Their actions show that even in the face of adversity, generosity can plant the seeds of blessings. Amora's steadfast love and commitment to her husband, even when tempted by luxury and ease, highlights the importance of staying true to one's values and loved ones. Chidi's hardworking nature and refusal to give up despite constant disappointments teach the importance of resilience. Amora's relentless efforts to make her canteen succeed embody the spirit of determination. And the couple's decision to help those who once had them, such as Madam Too Much and Chika, demonstrates the power of forgiveness to heal and transform. Amora's unwavering faith in God carried her through difficult times, showing that trusting in a higher power can bring hope and eventual triumph. Ultimately, their story reminds us that goodness, even when unrecognized or mocked, is never wasted. It has the power to change lives and create miracles, just like the arrival of their golden child.
So, dear amazing friends, if you enjoyed this video, do like, subscribe, and turn on your post notifications and become a VIP. Get notified when I drop new stories and never miss out on our next exciting story. Join the family and let's keep these tales alive. See you in the next one.